So, we invited you here today to get your honest opinion about this new car. But to keep it unbiased, we removed all the branding and logos, so you'll have no idea what car it actually is. So go ahead and take a look. Let's hear what you think.
It looks like really fast.
Kinda sporty?
Reminds me of like a high-end luxury competitive car. Kind of like a Dominus, maybe?
Okay, now, what if I told you this is actually the 2015 Scarab from Psyonix?
Oh, wow. I had no idea they looked this cool.
It really surprised me.
Wow, that's great. But really, I'm just glad to be in this commercial at all.
Yeah, why is he here?
Well, last time a lot of people complained that there were too many octanes.
Wait, so you mean he was cast just because he wasn't an octane?
No, I mean, he's in on his own merit.
Seems like you're trying to fake diversity.
And you assumed my gender.
Well, your voice sounds... You have a red car.
So red is a boy's color? Sexist con.
Sexist con. Sexist con.
Sexist
I just want an assortment of cars that represents the player base. I've had enough with you guys. So, today we're learning about fakes. Whether you're a new player shooting for gold this season, or a vet looking to push further into champ, chances are you're probably underusing one of the best elements of the game, the fake. It's not used just to style on your enemies, and in today's episode, we're going to show you some ways you can utilize mind games, and more importantly, when and where to use them, as well as some little ways to incorporate them into your everyday game. In the shadow defense tutorial, we learned how to shadow towards the near post, and that proper positioning is on the side of the field that the shot is coming from, so you can easily direct the ball away from your goal. But let's imagine we're the player on offense instead. When the opponent is good at shadowing, mind games usually don't work because the defender is guarding the near post, and their momentum is going with the ball, allowing them to constantly readjust to the ball. Instead, the best time to mind game is when the defender is on the wrong side of the field. This might happen from a counterattack or simply bad positioning by the opponent. Here, JHZER is on the counterattack and sees his opponent out of position. The other guy doesn't have time to switch fields and shadow, so JHZER decides now is a good time to try a mind game. In this clip, once again we see JHZER take advantage of a defender out of position. Pros even use this in RLCS, recognizing when a player is in a difficult spot and unable to shadow.
Just to equalize Zane with a great pass over to Rizzo. Now Insolence has to beat Sis.
Oh, the mind game!
You can see here how the counterattack left Sis sitting in the goal, unable to shadow, making it a great time to mind game.
Playing to the perception of the player you're against. So many people.
But having a defender on the wrong side of the field isn't the only way to mind game. Defenders can also get out of position with spacing. Remember what we said about the sweet spot for shadow defense? Far enough away that any flick won't go over your head, but close enough to stop them from cutting the ball. Well, what happens if a defender is on the right side of the field but too far away? You guessed it. If we look right at the start of this clip, we see a very common situation. The defender can either give up positioning and go for boost, or pick up small boost pads and shadow on low boost. While either option is viable, a good player can punish the boost over ball play. Because JHZER played quickly, as soon as he saw the defender go for the boost, he could choose between a power shot, to the right, or a fake. Mind games are a great way to punish someone giving up position for a delicious looking corner boost. What an idiot! Who would do that?
Going for these freestyles, you know what I mean? Wait, what are you doing?
I'm getting that boost I missed. Shit. We've seen this play in RLCS as well. The key to mind games is to take the space given to you. This plays out in real life soccer or football, where you take your space and dribble until you force a defender to commit. But we haven't mentioned perhaps the most obvious time to fake, which is a situation in which the defender has no choice but to flip to make a save. Once again, this is situational when a defender is out of position. Because flipping accelerates your car faster than simply boosting, faking when the defender is forced to dive in desperation is the perfect time to watch them fly past you, as you slowly destroy what small joy they still had inside them. But wait, there's more. Remember when I said fakes are for more than just making your enemies feel bad about their decision to buy this game? You can actually use fakes on defense as well, known as fake challenges. We mentioned that when you shadow, you should wait for the best time to challenge. But if your opponent is a patient dribbler, Then you can fake challenge to try to get them to flick the ball into your waiting arms. Or, waiting headlights, I guess? Sometimes fake challenging can really cause your opponent to panic, giving you an easy goal. Now before we go to our last point, let's do an old segment, the Suckless Challenge. For today's Suckless Challenge, I wanted to give you a sort of update on some training that I've been doing that's really been helping me. It's just one specific challenge that I got from Kev Pert's Elite Car Control video, and I want you guys to try it out for the Suckless Challenge. Unfortunately, like the dribbling challenge, it's for PC only. Anyway, you go to the Rocket League workshop on Steam and download the parkour map, and you basically fly into level 1.11. All you gotta do is sort of weave in and out between these pillars. Sort of like the drill we've talked about in other training, except this is gonna help you a lot more because you're gonna be required to be more precise about it or your car will reset. If you're just doing it with little boost pads in the ground, you're not really held accountable if you get sloppy. So yeah, just spending about 10 minutes a day weaving in between these pillars, both forwards, backwards, and while freestyling, you're really gonna see a huge improvement in a really short amount of time, so I highly recommend it. If you haven't tried this kind of training before, I really recommend it, and I think you'll see a huge improvement in your air car control. All right, back to our last point on fakes. Now for our last point. Some of you still might be thinking, yeah, you're showing a bunch of JHZER clips, and how does this all relate to me? Well, fakes can also help in regular challenges to create favorable 50-50s. You don't have to be JHZER to pull them off. And yes, some of you called me out for saying favorable 50-50 when it means 50%, but you should know by now that the 50-50 is also used colloquially to refer to any challenge where two people hit the ball at roughly the same time. Alright, rant over. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so mind games aren't always used to completely juke out your opponent, but also to create better opportunities to win the ball. This is a great strategy against over-aggressive opponents. Ultimately, you can be really creative with mind games. It's actually one of the most satisfying ways to score on someone in Rocket League, I have to say. At the highest level, players can even fake ceiling shots. Always remember to mix it up between fakes and actual shots to keep your opponent guessing. It can definitely throw your opponent off, even if it means freezing them up for a split second, causing them to lose their forward momentum, and giving you the goal.
That's all I got! Is it enough?
There we go.
We got my champion right there, dude.
It was such an awkward goal, too.
It was so weird.
That's my style. Look at this.
You like bumped him out of the way.
I kicked it in.
Dude. It's one thrust.